Star Wars Jedi Survival will be released pretty soon. Hello everybody, today we are here to remember everything that you need to know before playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Please drop a like and consider subscribing, let's do this. Firstly, I will do the recap of the first part, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The story opens 5 years after Order 66 and the formation of the Empire, with Cal Kestis on Bracca as him and his friend Prof work on securing a Star Destroyer to be stripped for parts to make new ships for the Empire. After an accident that causes Prof to begin falling to his doom, Cal has to make use of his secret Jedi powers to solve his friend's descent and save the Scrapper's life. This use of the Force is what draws two Inquisitors to the planet, where they question a lineup of Scrappers looking for Cal. After the lead Inquisitor, the second sister, murders Prof for speaking against the Empire, Cal reveals himself by drawing his lightsaber and is immediately restrained by the ninth sister, who attempts to drop her prisoner off a cliff if he resists capture. Naturally, Cal resists and falls onto a speeding train that zips him away through an army of stormtroopers. After the extended tutorial that is the train, Cal meets Ciri and escapes on her ship, with their pilot Grease only barely evading capture after a one-sided battle with the second sister. After escaping from Bracca, Cal formally introduces to himself to Ciri, who reveals herself to be a former Jedi that is in some way cut off from the Force but doesn't respond to why. Grease likewise introduces himself as the pilot of the Mantis, the ship that players will use to travel from planet to planet. While on the ship, Cal also picks up a guitar-like instrument and plays a song based on a Force echo that he reads from the object, revealing that he can learn the past of the objects through the Force. Second sister, or Trilla, was Ciri's Padawan, but after some events Trilla has gone to the dark side. In the first planet that our heroes visit, Cal finds a droid, BD-1, who later will help Cal in his adventure. That was the droid of Cordova who sent him to help Jedis in the future to find Holocron. Holocron is some sort of cube which can show us the holographic list of children who are sensitive to power and their current locations. And the whole game we are searching different tombs and visiting different planets to find it. During the adventure we confront Night Sister, which is some sort of witch, but after some events we are okay with her and Cal invites her to their Jedi Order. She definitely accepted the offer. In one of the planets, Trilla appears again for another fight that she easily wins, but Cal is able to take a lightsaber which triggers a Force echo of Trilla's path to the dark side. The pain of the Inquisitor's life cripples Cal as he is forced to watch her transformation and the moment when Ciri killed their captors after seeing her Padawan turn. Once the vision ends, Cal awakens to see that Trilla has escaped with the holocron, leaving a squad of stormtroopers guard the entrance of the Zepho temple. The final act is the last challenge of Fallen Order, taking Cal through the Fortress Inquisitoress, where the Empire turned ex-Jedi and Padawans into Inquisitors. The level begins with Cal dropping into the sea and proceeding to infiltrate the fortress via an underwater access point. Once inside, Cal fights his way through the fortress with help of Ciri, who fights around the separate sections that guides Cal through her previous prison. After fighting through stormtroopers and pushtroopers, Cal finally finds himself in the same torture chamber where Trilla was turned and Ciri first used the power of the dark side. Trilla reveals herself here with the holocron in her possession and challenges Cal to one final duel. Cal finally wins a hard-won fight against the second sister and retrieves the holocron from her. Ciri attempts to reach Trilla, begging to bring her back to the Jedi Order, but they are interrupted by a surprise appearance by the most powerful Sith of all time, Darth Vader. What ensues is a true moment of horror as Cal has to run from the imposing force of Darth Vader after the Sith cuts down Trilla and seemingly throws Ciri into a pit of fire. Unable to escape, Cal is eventually caught and impaled by his own lightsaber before being saved by Ciri, who survived being tossed aside. Ciri is able to hold Vader back using the power of the dark side, but Cal convinces her to turn away from the dark. Cal then destroys the walls of underwater facility in order to escape, while Vader has to hold back the water. With both Ciri and Cal almost dead in the water, the two are ultimately saved by Marin, or Night Sister, who teleports into the ocean and transport them back to the Mantis, their ship. Once on board, with the holocron and the list of Force-sensitive children that could rebuild the Jedi Order, Cal and the crew debate on what to do with the list they spent so much time to find. After some deliberation, Cal destroys the holocron, claiming that the Force will decide what happens to them. Okay, Star Wars Jedi Survivor release date is on 28th of April. It will be released on PS5, Xbox Series S, and X and Windows. About the gameplay, there will be some new features. For instance, you can right now speed up bikes, animals, you can now also swing like Spider-Man, and etc. Okay, that's everything that you need to know before playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Drop a like and consider subscribing. Thanks for your watching. Goodbye.